We have some more hair drama today. I know, I didn't think you could get so many pockets of, like weddings, hair, and it would have so much drama, but they do. And this is involving Mackenzie Marie and her stylist, Cara Feeder. So just for some context, sorry if I said those names wrong. Before we watch this video, Mackenzie is a YouTuber, right? She does a lot of shocking, dramatic themed videos like around her life. And Cara is her hairstylist, who is about to claim that Mackenzie asked her to film this satire video, which Mackenzie, the YouTuber, allegedly posted as not so satire.
Story time of letting your client film the worst hairstylist ever video of you and agreeing that it was going to be satire, and then she decides to post it as like the real thing. She posts videos like this all the time. She posts videos saying worst rated nail salon, worst rated hair salon, and I was down for it. I love making funny videos. I started painting my nails in the hair salon. I purposely took off my gloves for this video and let her film me bleaching her hair without gloves on. I also wet the back of the salon chair purposely so it looked like I drenched her back.
Okay, just quickly, for anyone who has never seen these style of videos, and they're usually like in the beauty sphere of YouTube, is some people go to the worst reviewed beauty salons, right? So they could go on like their local area, see which salon has the worst rating, and they go to that one. The most popular is probably Judy D, who goes to the worst rated makeup artist. A lot of them are set up. The Judy D ones aren't. I've spoken to her personally, I filmed a video of her and everything like that. They are very much, she goes to a terrible place and gets something done. Some of them you can tell are over the top though, And this is obviously what she was setting up with this person, with her hairstylist.
I did all this stuff for the video just for fun. Also mentioned, I've done this girl's hair for 2 years and we've had a great relationship. She's never complained or asked me to redo her hair. She's always paid and tipped me. And we finally decided to do something different with her hair. Instead of the chunky highlight turquoise, we did a full bleach out turquoise. And if you're a hairstylist watching this, you know how big of a difference that's going to be. And I explained to her the whole process. I explained that I wasn't going to be taking fine sections of the back of her hair and that I wanted to take thicker sections and let it lighten open air so that it wouldn't process as quickly. Therefore, I could leave it on her hair for longer and her hair wouldn't over process. Because at the end of the day, her hair health was always number one to me. I refused to do a full bleach on her for 2 years because her hair couldn't handle it. I wanted her hair to get to a healthier place and she kept asking and I finally felt like her hair could handle it.
Listen, that's a good person, a good, what are they called? Whether it's your hairstylist, your injector, if you get Botox, or someone who you go to pay for a service and they're like, listen, in my professional opinion, we should do this, and they don't rush into it just for the money. That's a good sign.
I did it and I explained it was a process. I also explained after doing her hair that there are certain areas that didn't lift as well that we'd retouch next time I did her roots. She brought in the blue each time, and I also told her that I was happy to redo the blue because she brought in the wrong blue this time and I had to mix up a blue and a yellow to make the turquoise and it didn't take as well. She acted very happy when she left. She never told me she was dissatisfied. I texted her after the video was posted on YouTube and I asked, why would you do that to me after 2 years of our relationship?
Okay, so now she puts up a text on the screen, and now this is obviously Cara sending this to Mackenzie. She says, wow, I'm shocked that you posted that video. I'm really sad you didn't feel like you owed me after 2 years of doing your hair to tell me that it wasn't right. I took the time to do section by section, she's referring to her hair, so that I wouldn't overlap over previous color. So yes, going from highlights to a solid color, it wasn't perfectly even. I have even mentioned before you left that there was certain sections I needed to go over the next time I bleach your hair. I left your hair healthy, in good condition, that's all that matters. Though that was my first priority. Also, it was my video idea to do this as a joke and you just ran with it. Really hurtful. I would have been happy to fix anything for you. I just find it really upsetting that you just went online before texting me first. I didn't even watch the full video. I'm just shocked and really sad.
You didn't have the decency to let me know you were unhappy. No response from her. Radio silence. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the YouTube video. I watched the very beginning and I skipped to the very end to know that it wasn't satire. And I chose not to watch it because I don't want to bully myself and I don't want to be consumed by things on social media when I know my integrity as a hairstylist. I know it was supposed to be a joke. But because so many people are sending me these videos and because now it's posted to TikTok, I decided I wanted to address it. But like I said, a lot of those clips that she's using in this video are literally meant for satire that I did intentionally as a joke. And the fact that she's using that and then saying I really am the worst hairstylist is crazy. I also mentioned to her that we could do a collab video for this video because we're doing the satire thing and I have a lot of followers that have followed me from my story time of my worst experience as a hairstylist with my split dye video. And she's like, why do you think that went so viral? Her eyes kind of lit up when I told her I got 55 million views on that video. And I literally just feel like she just wanted to, it's like a cash grab for her. Like she's just trying to, like almost like recreate her own viral video where she's trying to, and it doesn't really matter if she takes me down with her. She also told me she's moving to Texas, so she no longer needs me to do her hair anymore. She doesn't need me to do her hair anymore, so I guess she doesn't need our relationship anymore, so she's going to take what she can get from it and just post this video. But yeah, I haven't even watched both of the videos in full. I don't need to say what actually happened. I just know that those few clips are in it, so once again, I did not want to make this video. I didn't want to give it any attention, but now that it's posted to TikTok and more people are sending it to me, I just thought it was a good idea to make this video to explain what actually happened. But if you were a hairstylist, sent me a nice message after she posted this, I just want to say thank you because that meant so much to me and I thought that was really sweet. We have to stick together as hairstylists. It's just disappointing when social media takes the best of people's characters because I honestly saw this client as a close friend and someone I trusted and have told close secrets to and felt very safe and comfortable with. That's why I trusted her to make this video, worst hairstylist ever video. So yeah, it's just very disappointing and surprising.
Okay, so from Cara, the hairstylist perspective, she agreed to fake not wearing gloves, wet the back of a chair when she was getting her hair washed, paint her nails so that she looked like a bad stylist, like she wasn't paying attention, which I think is like, I don't like fake content when people fake things for viewers, unless it's blatantly obvious and satire, like she was going to say in this, you know what I mean? To ask your stylist to do that, I think is really weird, but they have been seeing each other for 2 years, so maybe they're closer than just, normal. And again, it is that thing of TikTok has a platform, you do have to go, as Cara said, she thinks Mackenzie is just trying to go viral. That's the success of TikTok. You can't just post like a video and it be nice, you know what I mean? It has to be some kind of like crazy scheme or crazy thing happening. There are so many creators over there putting themselves in like really bad situations just to get content. Getting your makeup done in a bad place is fine. Maybe eating some bad food is fine, unless you get food poisoning. But fucking up your hair is kind of a big deal because it can be difficult to fix. Okay, so before we have a look at any of the beef further, right? Let's take a look at some of the actual video that Mackenzie posted to YouTube, right? Including Cara being the stylist.
I cried. Oh yeah. I didn't even know that had happened. I believe that she tried to pull out like the side pieces as fast as possible, like the biggest amount as possible to make it seem like it had less breakage because she knew I was videotaping the whole process. Like this was supposed to be like, oh my God, I finally dyed my hair black blue. But now it's, oh my God, my hairdresser destroyed my hair. She definitely over bleached my hair. She definitely gave me chemical breakage. I'm not blind. Like I can clearly see like my hair coming out. And no, it's not just because that happens, like you have some shedding. No, girl, that's a full-on chemical burn. There's no reason for full-on strands to be coming out of my head like that. What? I agreed on my hair being yellow, so it was light enough to put the teal on top of it. I had the towel wrapped around my head all the way to the chair, but I couldn't see anything because the towel was there. So I sit down in the chair, and once she takes the towel off, I can only see the sides and the front of my hair, which are a yellow color, which is the color I was expecting all my hair to be. But you can clearly see here that all of my hair in the back is a very dark orange brassy color. This is not yellow. She knows that this is not light enough to put this color on, but yet she still does it. She doesn't say anything to me about the patchiness, nothing about how brassy it is, but she put the dye on anyways. She did not section the hair. She was just throwing it on all over the place. She got it on my forehead, in my ears, on the back of my neck. This was yesterday and I still have blue all over the place. We waited for it to process and then we washed it out. She always gives me a haircut, so I was expecting to get a haircut, and especially because we just bleached all my hair, like that would have been the best thing for my hair was to have a cut, and she didn't even give me a cut. When the dye was processing, she was literally just like standing around painting her nails. The blue dye itself is extremely patchy. There's parts of my hair that she didn't even dye that are missing, just like these ugly, gross, blonde green sections. The back part of my hair is this really dirty green blue color. There's about 4 or 5 different shades of like blue green going on in my hair right now. This is the ugliest color I have ever had on my hair. I left a salon with chemical breakage without even getting the bare minimum of a cut.
Okay, so obviously in that video you can see as a hairstylist, she's doing certain things that a hairstylist wouldn't do in a colouring hair, getting it all over the forehead, on the ears. You would section it off, you know, instead of just rubbing it through. That's how people dye their hair at home sometimes. So it's obviously quite, what's the word? Considering she's been going to this girl for 2 years, she's obviously doing it very heavy-handedly. It's obviously very fake, but this really does give. The way she's presented it really does give, like, this is deadly serious. The colour doesn't look that great, but the hair's a little bit patchy, you know, you can see like those blonde green bits. So obviously, right, Cara, right, talks about Mackenzie filming this video as if she like just agreed to do this crazy stuff while she was recording for content. She's like saying we both agreed it was going to be crazy. But does that really explain the poor dye job? You know what I mean? Because there's some patches where you can see a chunk of blonde and then a blue on top. To me, it doesn't look terrible, but of course she probably wants it all one color. And one thing I found very interesting as well is in these videos, well, the ones I have watched where it's like worst reviews something, you actually don't see the face of a person who's doing the service. They usually blur it out or hide it. Now obviously some of this couldn't be helped. She is trying to go like yellow blonde from black, and that's a lot of time, a lot of lifting, but it is looking a little bit crazy. It is looking a little bit patchy there, but nothing you would look at and be like, holy shit, your hair's shit. So after Cara made her story time explaining, you know, this was all set up, Mackenzie started posting like random clips of her hair from the appointment. So we could see a little bit more what was happening. Both everywhere on TikTok. Obviously she went absolutely crazy. Here I am thinking, in my mind at the moment, I'm thinking this was obviously something set up for content and both parties weren't too worried about the results, but obviously as she said, Cara said in the first video, she tried to keep the health of Mackenzie's hair in good health because that was her main goal, right? I don't think her hair looks completely messed up. I think it looks a bit patchy. But I do think they had some sort of like agreement before filming this, right? Like this could be the result if we did this. Maybe you'll have some color in your head, whatever. There's two completely conflicting arguments here, right? Fans from both sides have been arguing because yes, her painting her nails looks obviously staged, right? It looked obviously staged. But also, that is a patchy, bad bleach job. So Cara saw all these comments and came back with this reply.
Hey guys, I didn't want to make another follow-up video. That's why I made the last video very long, but Mackenzie just made another video. But anyways, I just wanted to start by saying thank you so much for all the really kind messages. I was not expecting that. I was really scared to post the last video and give it any more attention, but You guys are so sweet, sending me support and just sticking together as hairstylists and clients and just being nice girls in my messages. I really, really appreciate it. So her last video that she just posted, I saw people are commenting on her TikToks before she disabled the comments, saying that she should post the unedited footage. And they've been posting that on mine too, but I don't have any footage from that day. She was the one filming, and we don't have cameras inside of our salon, only on the inside and outside of the salon, so I don't have anything to show. I'm not sure what the unedited clip that she posts proves at all, honestly. I'm not sure what the point of her posting that was. In the clip that she posted, I'm asking what her plans are for the video that she's posting to YouTube. We're not discussing our collab TikTok video that was supposed to be satire, that was supposed to be posted on both of her pages. So the clip that she posted is pretty much useless. Like, she should be posting stuff that's explaining what our plans are for TikTok, because her YouTube was a complete separate plan. That's why I was asking her what her plans were for YouTube. I will say that none of this was premeditated or like really thought out in advance at all, at least on my end. It was all very last minute. I had her pre-booked, I think, for like at least 6 weeks or something like that, 2 months maybe. And for March 12th, and then she texted me March 11th, like in the evening, and asked if she could film the following day. And I was like, sure, you know, she's my last client of the day. I have the time. Her hair's healthy enough. It's at a good place. She's been asking for a while. I felt like it was just an appropriate time to do the full bleach or whatever the next day. So, and then she asked to film, and I said, sure. So when she came in and her boyfriend started filming everything, I started to feel uncomfortable because maybe my intuition knew something wasn't right. I honestly don't think she planned to do this from the start, but I could be wrong. As they were filming things and like getting clips that like weren't like aesthetically pleasing, like things I would never film on my own of myself because I was taking such thick sections of her hair, which I explained to her before we even did this process why I was going to take thick sections, because I wanted to get it on her hair quickly so it wasn't sitting on her hair for too much time, because I didn't want her hair to over process. I was very concerned about her hair. So I started to feel embarrassed as it was being filmed, and I made a joke saying like, oh my god, like the people are gonna like come for me in the comments because this looks crazy. And that's when we kind of decided we were gonna just go with it and run with it and have fun and make the satire video of worst hairstylist ever, whatever. And then I started to have fun with it and like purposely take off my gloves, paint my nails, and it was like fun filming this. But yeah, so we had discussed all that while she was in the chair. After we already started filming, it was like an afterthought. Then in the bowl, after she's done with her color, which is the clip she had posted, I'm asking, so what are your plans for YouTube? Since we had already discussed that the TikTok one was going to be a collab one, worst hairstyles ever. So now I'm asking in that video what her plans are for YouTube. They're going to be completely separate things. And then after I was done with her hair, as I'm blowing drying her, I point out that it's not perfect. We need to retouch this. We need to do this. I'm happy to redo your semi-permanent color when you come in for your trim on Tuesday the following week. And that's when she decided that, you know, what's better online than a satire video, the real thing. And she didn't like her hair. So it wasn't premeditated that she was probably going to do this. She just didn't like her hair afterwards. And then she was like, fuck it. Like, I already have all these clips. And it's going to look like she is the worst hairdresser because that's what we were pretending to be the whole time. So it's kind of the perfect storm for a very viral video. And it was very manipulative. And she had no right to use those clips that were meant for satire. She just wanted to make a video saying she hated her hair. That'd be a completely separate thing, and that would be upsetting in and of itself. But to use clips that were purposely made to be satire is crazy. Thank you guys for all the positive comments, though. And let's get back to just regular hair content soon. I'm totally over this.
So the clip that Cara is talking about at the start of that video was deleted. Mackenzie basically deleted everything involving her hair, this situation, which seems kind of suspicious, right? It seems a little bit like, So Cara was basically saying that they had spoke about it briefly during the appointment. So she did all those crazy things. They didn't talk more in depth about it until after the appointment. Cara also mentions the fact that it was the plan for Mackenzie to come back in for touch-up so they can fix these errors, to have it finished and to get her cut done, which definitely makes more sense than what Mackenzie made out in her video, right? Because if she's going to like the worst reviewed place, you can't, and make content out of it, you can't leave with a good result. The funny part, or the interesting part, the entertaining in air quotes part, is that it looks shit afterwards. Because if it's the worst reviewed, you expect it to be the worst reviewed, right? This has kind of been what's confused everyone. I don't know where I am with this. I don't know. You know, as somebody who would provide a professional service, I think this kind of idea is pretty terrible to do something like this anyway. Especially if your face is going to be in a video. If people don't research enough to, if someone saw this and took it as reality, right? People don't do enough research online nowadays to realize that this was satire. They would just write off that business straight up. So both Cara's community and Mackenzie's fans have been at each other's necks on social media, arguing back and forth on who is the liar here, right? Let's just, for example, let's take a little look. Someone says, I don't know, guys. I'm not really understanding how everyone is on Cara's side here when the hair is genuinely horrendous. All extra drama aside, Mackenzie paid $400 to $500 for hair that could have been done. Why would you agree to do a satire? I think she missed out the word video though, that would paint you in a negative light. I'm on that same thing. I'm like, why would you agree to do that if your face was in it? You know what I mean? I feel like that's, yeah. I wrote a comment on the last one, but it got taken down. But I've met that girl and had a negative experience. Which one? I'm still confused. You're a blonde specialist, but you didn't even get her blonde. You got her orange, and it was hella uneven and splotchy. Like, I get the drama, but move that aside. You didn't even do her hair good, and then charge $400 to $500. Like, I would also be mad that shit looks bad. Yeah, but again, going black to blonde, and trying to keep the integrity. I'm not a hairstylist, but let me know, any colorists. If she was to take her black to blonde, that's a whole day, right, of bleaching and lifting. Is that good for the hair, or is that terrible? Would you do that in one day? Could you do that in one day and then go on to dye it teal? I don't think it was ever a collab. She never tagged you, gave your full name, or paid you for the video. Something one of those comments mentions is that Mackenzie does have a song coming out. Could this whole thing have been a marketing ploy to get people to the page to then be like, hey guys, thanks for supporting me through my horrible journey. Please listen to my song. You know what I mean? People do anything. People literally do anything to go viral on TikTok and have their 2 months of fame. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think. Who do you think was right? Who do you think was wrong? Do you think it was this agreed satire moment? There also seems to be like a lot of rumors about this Mackenzie girl. So maybe she is a little bit, maybe people should be wary of her is what I should say. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know your opinions down below. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.